Greeting to our viewers. It is an honor for me, Phương Thảo, to always accompany you and bring you the most interesting news on 24 Hours channel. The news provides updates on the hottest, latest, and most accurate information about the security and social order situation that have occurred during the day. And now, let's move on to the main news.
Ladies and gentlemen, the catastrophe continues to strike the government of Mr. Xi Jinping. The situation of heavy rain, storms, earthquakes, and tsunamis has been extremely complex and unpredictable in recent times. This has made Mr. Xi's administration uneasy and restless. Yesterday, the Beijing government unexpectedly ordered the evacuation of all 400 million residents from major cities such as Shanghai, Guangdong, Guangxi, Shenzhen, Hubei, Wuhan, and Sichuan, as these areas experienced consecutive and powerful earthquakes occurring beneath the ground, with the epicenter only about 31 kilometers away from the Tamheap Dam. Furthermore, yesterday, a large embankment on the Yangtze River suddenly broke, causing all the areas around it to be submerged in water. Emergency evacuation orders were issued immediately, and all 15 million residents living around the downstream area of the Tamheap Dam and the Yangtze River had to move urgently to higher mountain peaks or to the Great Wall of China area to seek shelter. State media in China reported yesterday as a very dark day for the country, as earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, and embankment breaches occurred on the same day. This led to rapid and unprecedented rise in water levels of rivers like the Yellow River, Yangtze River, and Mekong River, prompting Mr. Xi's government to declare a state of emergency overnight. According to the China's Central Meteorological and Hydrological Center, the amount of rainfall today and in the coming days is expected to continue to increase, causing widespread flooding and imminent danger to the Tamheap Dam and the 15 embankments around the Yangtze River. The China Research Center for Earthquake and Tsunami also issued an urgent warning, stating that the 3 embankments in the affected area are showing signs of rupture. They urged residents and authorities to exercise extreme caution and evacuate immediately to higher grounds or other safe areas. If the situation becomes too difficult, they can seek temporary refuge in Vietnam. However, Vietnam's borders are still strictly controlled. Border crossings are tightly monitored 24/7, not because Vietnam refuses to help the Chinese people in times of heavy rain, strong winds, earthquakes, and tsunamis, but because the COVID-19 pandemic is still very complex in the world, especially in the Asia-Pacific region. Therefore, Vietnam cannot risk allowing Chinese people to seek refuge at this time, and it is hoped that China can understand this. According to observers, faced with the urgent and dangerous situation described above, Mr. Xi's government has decided to open 4 floodgates at the Tamheap Dam and all 9 floodgates at the Tan An Dam, resulting in water flooding 280 rivers in southern China, making it look like an ocean. Many believe this is the price China has to pay for its wrong actions of building too many dams to harness hydropower, going against the laws of nature. They are now facing retribution, and it serves as a profound lesson for countries that do not respect nature's resources. The destruction of forests and reckless land development for projects that harm nature are now being repaid at a very high cost. Hydrology experts around the world believe that China has been recklessly deforesting and flattening many mountain ranges, defying the laws of nature for a long time. Now, Mother Nature is rising to punish China, and the price they are paying is deemed to be too high. Currently, Mr. Xi Jinping's government doesn't know how to handle the uprising of Mother Nature, the earth, and the sky. They only resort to prayers, hoping that heavy rain, strong winds, floods, earthquakes will cease, and life can return to normal for the people of mainland China. However, achieving that is very difficult because the China's Central Meteorological and Hydrological Center recently issued an urgent warning number 43. At present, the sky remains continuously dark and black, accompanied by dense and continuous heavy rainfall, not only in southern China but also spreading to the northern regions. Extreme weather warnings and adverse developments are expected to continue, with more earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, and landslides. Consequently, local governments and citizens must exercise utmost caution and preparedness. Faced with the complex and unpredictable natural developments, China's search and rescue agencies have urgently warned that people living near the Tamheap Dam and along the Yangtze River embankment should evacuate to find shelter immediately, as the danger is beyond imagination. The ongoing flooding from the source continues to pour into the lower reaches, causing 31 provinces and municipalities in southern China to be submerged in water. The lives of millions of mainland Chinese people are plunged into a state of despair. Witnessing the scenes of scarcity of food and medicine for over 100 million Chinese people, tears cannot be held back. In the past months, Chinese people have endured various hardships. The COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc, leading to the closure of factories, companies, restaurants, and causing widespread unemployment. Fruits, flowers, and crops were also destroyed. Just when it seemed that the COVID-19 pandemic was under control in China, heavy rain, storms, thunderstorms, earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, and landslides have continuously occurred, leaving Chinese people unable to cope. The mounting difficulties have crushed the people's spirit. However, Mr. Xi Jinping's government remains preoccupied with its plans for territorial expansion, asserting dominance over neighboring waters, and military power, aiming to surpass the United States and Russia. Therefore, they seem indifferent to the floods, embankment breaches, earthquakes, and tsunamis, paying little attention to the consequences. The biggest concern of Mr. Xi's government now is territorial claims, maritime boundaries, money, military prowess, and becoming a global superpower, surpassing the United States and Russia. But millions and millions of Chinese people wonder what good is having vast territories, abundant resources, and a strong military if they are not used to address the current crises at home. While the pandemic and floods are ravaging, Mr. Xi's government appears unconcerned and indifferent. This has led to more than 1.4 billion Chinese people becoming resentful and furious at his administration. They want the country's leader to resign, as they believe that's the only way to restore peace to China and bring tranquility to the world. A recent alarming report from China's eastern media revealed that a large dam in China fully opened all 9 spillway gates for the first time in 100 years to prevent floods. This indicates the severity of the dangerous situation with earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, and landslides in southern provinces of China. The Tanzhong hydroelectric reservoir in Jiangxi province decided to open all 9 spillway gates for the first time in a century as the water level exceeded the permitted limit and was forecasted to continue rising in the coming days due to heavy rain and floods in the upper reaches. Tanzhong hydroelectric reservoir, also known as Quanzhou or Thinao Lake, is located in the upper reaches of the Tianwang River, the largest river in Jiangxi province known for its highest tidal range in the world. According to China's Xinhua news agency, as of 7 p.m. yesterday, the water level in Tanzhong Reservoir reached 108.5 meters, surpassing the reserve level, and it is predicted to further increase due to the continuous heavy rain and incoming floods in the upper reaches. The flood situation in the upstream Anhui province caused the water level in the reservoir to rise rapidly, exceeding the permissible level, according to the director of the dam. The weather forecast indicates that heavy rain will continue in the areas surrounding the reservoir for the next 10 days, posing a threat of flooding even when the hydroelectric plant operates at full capacity. Hence, they decided to fully open the spillway gates to prevent flooding. Tanzhong Hydroelectric Reservoir is the third largest hydroelectric reservoir in China, after the Tamheap Dam, and it was built in the late 1950s. Since then, it has opened all spillway gates at least 7 times, with the most recent occurrence in 2011. According to the China Morning Post, the Tanzhong Hydroelectric Reservoir is 466 meters long, 108 meters high, and has a capacity of 845 megawatts, making it the first dam built in China with a height over 100 meters. The US, Russia, and Japan's meteorological and hydrological centers, which monitor satellite images of floods, thunderstorms, typhoons, and storms in the Asia-Pacific region, have warned that the flood situation in China will remain severe for the next few days, especially from late July to early August, adding great pressure to water reservoirs. With a dam and embankment failure rate of up to 95%, the Tamheap Dam is facing an imminent danger if the heavy rainfall does not cease in the next few days. From the end of this month to the current date, which is 45 days, China has continuously suffered from heavy and prolonged rains. As a result, all rivers and 26 provinces out of 31 provinces in China are experiencing severe floods, landslides, tsunamis, earthquakes, and flash floods. The latest statistics from the Statistical Agency of China indicate at least 121 fatalities and missing persons, and 1,798 houses have been swept away by the floods. Numerous cars, buses, electric rice cookers, refrigerators, and televisions have also been swept away. The initial estimated damage amounts to approximately $1 trillion, which is an enormous figure. Mr. Xi Jinping's government could not have foreseen such a devastating impact of Mother Nature's uprising. Yesterday, China's Central Television CCTV aired a weather forecast warning that floods, earthquakes, and tsunamis will continue to occur in 28 provinces and municipalities in China. They urge all agencies, departments, and citizens to exercise utmost caution. We will continue to collect and provide updates on these issues in future broadcasts. As for today's program, we kindly ask for your understanding as we will pause here. We wish you all a healthy and happy day. Goodbye and see you next time.
Thank you and all of you for paying attention. Please leave your comment and feedback in the comment section of this video so that we can respond promptly and address any question. If you find it enjoyable, please like and click the bell icon below to not miss the latest video from our editorial team. See you at the upcoming news bulletin of 24 Hours channel.